Here's how you replace a coolant temperature sensor on a 1994 Astro van. Works for 89 Astro vans to 95. Same thing for GMC Safaris, same process, same everything. The first thing you want to do is remove this doghouse or engine cover. You can call it a doghouse or engine cover. So there's going to be a long flathead screwdriver or flathead screw over there. And then there's going to be two 10mm nuts in here. There's going to be one over there. Same thing for over here. Right there. And then after that, you're going to want to remove these straps or just like pull them off and then lift it up. So I'm going to go ahead and do this before I do anything. Pull it off, lift it up like that, and I'll show you how to do it. Alright, so here's all the tools you're going to need. You're going to need a ratchet. You're going to need a long extension to get to the long screw over there, a 10mm. You're going to need an adapter for this 1/4. And then you're going to need a flathead, another adapter or extension, and of course you're going to need your coolant temperature sensor. Now there's two coolant temperature sensors you're going to want, or you're going to need this one. You don't need it, but you're going to want to find out which one you need. So this one's for 96 to 2001 Astro vans or GMC Safaris, and this one's from 89 to 95 Astro vans or GMC Safaris. So I'm going to show you how to replace it and remove all these nuts. First thing you want to do is remove the flathead screwdriver over there. So you're gonna need a long extension again, like this. So what I like to do is I like to stick it inside there. I just like to adapt it for a second and then just put it all the way in there until it touches the actual. And once it's attached, you can go ahead and start turning. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and set my camera right there, and I'm gonna start turning this. When you feel that's when you feel that's loosening up, then that's when you start turning or stop turning. So let's see, right there, I believe that's how you stop. So once it's like loosened up like that, then that's when you stop turning. Now you're gonna want to remove the two 10mm nuts. So what you're gonna need this. I'm gonna go ahead and remove all of this so I can get to the 10mm nut. Alright, so now that that's removed, we're going to go ahead and remove those right there. Alright, so let's get our ratchet attached. So we just attach it on, and I'm going to go ahead and start turning it. Alright, so I just got that one off, and I tried turning this one and it's already loose, so I can just remove it by hand. So whoever had this car last time, it was already loose. So that one's already loose, so I can just remove. Now you can go ahead and pull this off. So I like to pull it off gently by here. If that doesn't work, just try it's hard to do it with one hand, but try to kind of pull it off like that. Once that's pulled off, there's going to be a connector that you're going to want to disconnect, and just try pulling it off like that. I'm going to go ahead and set this somewhere so I don't lose. Alright, now there's going to be this air vent that's over here. So just kind of like wiggle it out just like that. I'm going to go ahead and set this back here. So now there's going to be two 10mm nuts. There's going to be a nut right here. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that real quick. So there's going to be one right there. And the other ones, of course, it's right there. You can see obviously, but still you're going to remove them. I think it's loose enough. Oh, no, it's loose. So I'm gonna go ahead and set it over here where the other ones are. And then there's gonna be this one. You can just remove it by hand. And just like drag it around and put it somewhere so you don't interfere it. So now the straps are loose. Now I can go ahead and remove the cover. This cover is pretty simple to remove. Just remove it like this. Make sure you don't grab onto anything. So it's pretty simple. Remove it like this, tilt it up. Kind of hard, but to do what I'm doing. And there it is, the engine. So I'll put this back here, and we can go ahead and remove the coolant temperature sensor, which is right there. That piece right there, that's the coolant temperature sensor. So first thing you want to do is disconnect the actual clip that connects to it. Oh my god, look at that. That is not what it's supposed to look like. It's supposed to look like this one right here. It's supposed to look like that. But it looks like that for some reason. So we're gonna go ahead and remove it. So since I don't have the actual wrench or ratchet, I'm just gonna be using these pliers. If you want to, you can go ahead and use these pliers as well, but I prefer using the actual wrench. So what you do is you grab on, let's see, you can grab it on like this. It's kind of hard. Can't really get it to focus. Alright, so it's grabbed on and you start turning counterclockwise. Alright, so I loosened it and you want to turn it this way. So you want to turn it this way, and once it's really loose, be careful because there's going to be coolant dripping out of here. So just carefully loosen it up a little bit until you feel it's really loose, wiggly. And then you're going to go ahead and want to get your other sensor ready. So I got the sensor right here. This part number is 21377. So what you do is you kind of loosen it up, and so once you get it really loose, be careful because there's going to be coolant dripping out. So I'm going to loosen it up. Surprisingly, there's nothing in there. So I'm going to go ahead and install the new one. So the new one's just going to screw on just like that. Once it's screwed on, you can tighten it down a little bit more because the pink thing or the orange thing, that's like a sealer so that no coolant drips out or anything. So we're going to go ahead and tighten it up, and that's how you're going to replace it. So this is how you replace it. So the wrench is actually attached onto it to the thread, and you just twist it until it tightens up. Let's see if I can get it. But you just twist it until the thing moves. You want to be careful doing this because it's actually gonna strip the threads, but this is why I'm telling you should actually use the actual tool because I don't have it right now. So now that it's tightened up, you can see if it's tightened, it's really tight. So now I'm gonna show you how to install this back on. Alright, so now the sensor, you can just, so this big one goes down there. So I'm gonna go ahead and connect this one down here. That big one goes right there. Can't really see it, but it goes right there. Connects right in there. Just kind of twist it around to make sure it's sealed up and connected good. You don't want to have any check engine lights. So just like that. Now this one connects right here. So just plug it in, and just like that, it's ready to go. Now that's ready to go. I'm gonna show you how to install everything back the way it was. Alright, so before you install the cover back on, make sure there's nothing inside the engine. So all these wires cannot be inside there because these are the wires from the interior. So now I took off the carpeting because the carpeting wouldn't stick on. So here's the long bolts that I was talking about earlier. You have to remove. So now you're gonna want to push this back in. So I'm pushing it back in, and make sure that it attaches with the line up there. But it's not attached, so what you do is you try to like pull it back out. Pull it back out, and then once you pull it back out, you force it in there while trying to like push it up. I'm gonna get my hand back here. So you force it while pulling it up so that way. So it's kind of aligned now. So I'm gonna try to pull it back in now and see if it works. Back there. I think that's good enough. Let's see. There's still something right there, so you have to pull it back out. So I'm gonna try to like wiggle it back in. There we go. Make sure it's not covering up anything, just like that. And that is how you install this cover. So I like to install these straps so that way the cover doesn't move out of place. And then we can get the carpet back on. Alright, so I got the carpet back on and it just easily slips on. Make sure that it's not tucked in, or it is tucked in, but it's not right here. So just kind of unstrap it a little bit. let's see. Let's remove the strap and make sure it gets tucked in. So this in here has to go inside there. Let's see if we can get inside. So I think that's good enough. So now you can just go ahead and put the strap back on. Just like that. Now we can go ahead and install this back on. So this one, the cover has to be all the way back, so I'm gonna loosen this up just a little bit more. Alright, so now we can go ahead and see if we can install this back on. Just like that. Maybe we can get the screw on. It fell out of my hand. We can get the screw back on like this. It keeps falling off. So we're gonna try to see if we can get this on. It has to come on. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this screw on, and I'll show y'all how to tighten it up. Alright, so I got my ratchet on. It's a 10mm. So just turn counterclockwise. You have to turn it clockwise. Make sure it's tight so that the engine cover doesn't come loose. Just like that. And this one, I'm gonna kind of loosen it because it's kind of like bent, and that's not how it's supposed to be. So there's something obviously going on here, so I'm just gonna tighten it up. This is an old small ratchet. Alright, so that's tightened it up. It's really tight. And now we can go ahead and get this filter back on. Or it's like an air vent basically. We can get it back on. Alright, so now that it's on, we can go ahead and push it back up. So push it back up just like that. And make sure that these attach like that. Because if they don't attach, then the other thing that we're about to install won't go back on. So those have to attach like that. Once everything is good, you can go ahead and get the engine cover or the cigarette lighter port back on. So this just connects like this. Just like that. And then we can kind of like wiggle it on like right here. Alright, so now everything's back on. Now we can go ahead and install this. And try kind of like push it in. Just like that. Make sure that the bottom ones are installed perfectly. Just like that. And the other side as well. Like that. And then we can go ahead and push this back in somehow. Alright, just like that. And now we can go ahead and get these two 10mm nuts back in. So that's back in. Same thing for the other one. Alright, so now that everything's tightened back up, the last thing you want to do, tighten the long screw back there. Now I already did that. And once that's tightened, the job is done. So that is how you replace a coolant temperature sensor. So here is the old one. Just check this out. This is not really good. The sensor was like completely destroyed. So that is how you replace it. So make sure to like the video if you enjoyed it, and also subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.